You know, how many things can you do without doing it? How many things can you do without it being seen that you did it? How many times can you show righteousness without saying that you were righteous? How many times can you give of yourself without ever receiving? How much can you take without responding? How much can you take without responding to the shit you have to take? Like, how much shit can you take without responding to the things you have to endure? Like, and then there's never an ending. The ending is the grace. So that is particularly the job. Like, we go around circles and circles about how life is laid and what should take place as far as the activities that give you the value of discernment, right? So what makes you understand the left and the right value, you know, the no's and the yeses, the ups and the downs. Understanding this value and its own potential is just telling you that you shouldn't participate. So what is the participation? The participation is the attraction, is the addiction. It's the reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people will never look at that as the potential. We're just doing shit, right? We just living. That's what we call just a part of life. No, that's what you create as a part of life. That's what you manifest as a part of life. That's a part of your fears and your shortcomings inside your subconscious. So within that way of thinking, you are only harnessing those energies into yourself for that to be the physical attribute of how you live out. You planting seeds more than you know. This is why people say things like unconscious things that you don't know is happening. That's how much you move through a day. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the day, I used to say, this is when I first got started on understanding this whole ratio. Like, I would say things to myself like, what if you didn't just get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, eat breakfast, right, and go to work? Like, that's a pattern, right? That's a pattern that everybody follows. Like, you get up, slide to the bathroom, you piss, you shit, you know what I'm saying? You brush your teeth, you wash your face, you go eat breakfast, you go to work. Come home, you eat dinner, take your clothes off, shower if or not, lay down in the bed and go to sleep. Repeat the process every day. And then that is what the particular understanding of living is. The reason why I pointed out those functions, because that's simple. Like, you have to buy things in order to have a toilet, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap. You have to maintain these things, right? And then somebody gives you the option on how to maintain these things. So there's no free thinking. There's no free thinking at all. Like, even if you're gonna do that and you're gonna, like, you know, wake up, hygiene, get dressed, eat breakfast, da 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 da, so forth. Even if you're gonna do all that, is there a contingency within those things that you're doing that have everything to do with what you created? Like, can you create these things for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Out of your own imagination. Like, can you build this and feel fulfilled because you did it? You're never going to feel fulfilled because you're purchasing it from somebody. So to actually have your own area to obtain and create your lifestyle is a part of understanding oneself. It's full fulfillment. it's gonna hit to the level of full fulfillment, because you don't have to go to someone to contract the idea of how you will live. You know what I'm saying? So that's important. And then when we start thinking about, the understanding of how circumstances take place within people, that's telltale to the conscious understanding of how you live daily. You're only magnetizing the energy that you are. So we are all magnets. The core of the earth is an ion. Like it's ionic pulse that's moving around. So our bodies is in that ionic electromagnetic field in itself. The way the blood moves from the feet to the head, the way the heart pumps, the way the vein pulls and gets tension and pumps the blood back to the heart, the way the electrical signals in the body move from one point to the brain to give you the understanding that you're actually going through something physically. That's the only way you can feel in one spot. Like it literally does time travel. Like if the smallest understanding I can give you to understand that is like if somebody touches your hand, that feeling of the skin touching your skin, it works so fast that you're not aware of how that takes place. You can't touch skin and the signal of touching don't go to the brain and then tell you that you're being touched within that time frame, race back to the point of where you're being touched and have you feel in that physical place in your skin that you're being touched. It happens within the second of being touched. Like, so that light travels from that point to your brain to consciously get you to understand what's taking place and then register the feeling back to the spot where you're being touched. It has to go in time and then travel back in time so you can register that. That's the ionic energy. That's the melanin concept, the universal divine energy that's within individuals. So that energy can grow, but unconsciously to the motions that this is taking place, you create things. This is how other lives was created, lack thereof, out of the understanding of emotion. So you can be giving off certain amounts of energy to a situation unconscious to you that it's being controlled by the outside surroundings that control your speech, motion, and way of thinking. So you start living this way every day in agreement to being controlled. And then we agree to say, this is the way. If you're not being controlled, then something's wrong with you. If you don't acquire these certain things, something wrong with you. Like, it's just another way of manipulating the aspect of control without stepping to you physically. Knowing that your physical capabilities may be in the highest realm attribute, especially when in a collective mind thinking. When we are in a collective mind thinking as a whole group of people on purpose, the controlling party, who we believe to be authority aspect, cannot control anything, because at that point, their things they're using to control you doesn't work, because the collective energy is manifesting. Manifestation is coming into fruition. So just giving you an understanding of how certain things actually play out in the real retrospect. Like, we don't see it. We don't look at it like this. Like, it's not even a potential to sit down and say, all right, this is what's actually taking place, and I know it's taking place, so I'm going to do something about it. No, people follow what's the normal, what's been in your family. Even if somebody was able to change the retrospect of what was in your family at a certain point, you believe because that change took place, it's still you, it's still your lineage, because it happened to them. That's the individual carrying a problem from one time to another. That's not the actuality, though. So in order to break generational curses that were placed on family members through situations that might have taken place through society, and this is the broader understanding of every knowledge point, every situation, every failure in a family